What's up, everybody? It's Haelian, and here I'm going to cover Loot River, brand new roguelike. Had quite a bit of hype just because it's a beautiful looking game. It had a beautiful trailer, got some people's minds going, and it is now out in 1.0. It kind of happened rather suddenly, and I'm going to talk through why I honestly just cannot recommend it in its current state, and why, even if things were fixed, I'm really disappointed in the team there. So we're just going to continue from our last save because it doesn't matter too much. There is some meta progression, but it's nothing major. It's mostly unlocked, so I can unlock more weapons that will show up in the run and more spells that can show up in the run as well there. So I won't cover that too much. That's what can happen. There are some really nice things about the game, honestly. There's some interesting ideas, and the art is beautiful. I just think it's the fundamentals. It's almost like they skipped over the really important things that you gotta lock down in the first phase of development. And then they wound up just skipping to the polishing phase for some reason, you know, and they just kind of missed the mark. These are modifiers that'll change the run slightly. That it sounded quite interesting, honestly, so you can turn them on. So this makes it so that one of the areas that you go through, it's a simpler place with fewer crossroads, because you've probably seen in the trailer or other footage of the game that there's sort of this like Tetrisy block system on the river that has this small puzzle element, essentially. And it's a really interesting idea that I haven't really seen anywhere else. And that part's actually not too bad, but it's actually the other combat fundamentals is where the game drops. All right, this is soap. You can actually invest some of your potions if you wish. I'll invest 3 and keep 1, and assuming I live to see him after this area, that means I'll get double that amount back. All right, you use the right joystick to move the platform, so I can do other things while moving the platforms, which definitely opens up a lot of things. But here's some of the things I want to point out immediately while playing the game. It was kind of immediately apparent, but it was hard for me to put in words. Notice the character getting stuck on the edges like this. This is a trend throughout the entire game of just it's just not a fluid feeling game in a lot of ways. You know, I shouldn't be getting stuck constantly. Like, slowing down a character because you're bumping or colliding with a wall and having them move at a slower pace, but flat out stopping them from moving is just wrong, I think, honestly. It just doesn't fit at all. And then you got this weird kind of roll slash dodge. They roll afterwards, but they also teleport a little bit. You know, the camera doesn't really move with you either. It's just odd. It's just like a strange roll. So here we have an enemy. They threw down a ball. They're a caster, and they got me with it. And another thing, I have screen shake off, by the way. Notice this jolting camera as I'm attacking. Every single attack I do, if there's an enemy there, will jolt the camera a little bit in that direction. And it's like, that's a simple fix. That one's simple. They could fix that. You know, they could fix it. But again, this is not an early access game. This is a 1.0 version of the game. And so, you know, these like fundamental flaws should not really be a part of a game that's cost us $25 at full price without really any sort of promise that the game will get better, you know. I would be way more forgiving if this game was an early access. I would probably be actually happy with the state of the game to some degree if it was early access, but it is always a little alarming when you release a game that doesn't have some fundamentals down. So anyways, getting stuck is like a theme in this game, basically. You get stuck on enemies. You can't attack suddenly. You can't roll. It's just not smooth and fluid. I'm almost dead already. We'll do the best we can. It is a challenging game. But sometimes for the wrong reasons, you know? Like, sometimes things just feel like they're unfair. You don't have to fight all the enemies, you can skip some over, but there is a level gaining system, which I found pretty interesting, where you can level some different stats here: strength, vitality, dexterity, endurance, and intelligence. It's actually quite interesting, and I actually liked it overall, from the few hours that I've played. But I couldn't really, after losing, like, my second or third run, I'm gonna say, and getting decently far in the last one, I couldn't bring myself to play anymore. I had to watch out for that poison cloud, because it's too jarring of an experience overall. It's just, I couldn't find any fun to be had. So we just gotta level up. You can put a point into any of the stats here. They all do different things. Sort of, it's very Soulsy in that way. There is a parry move, it's incredibly difficult to use. Vitality, you put 1 point in vitality, your health goes from, what is it? Max health goes from 100 to 160, but it has diminishing return, so if you keep putting points in it, it won't be as good the next time, but it just seems pretty plain to put it right there, because that's just a massive increase, obviously. Oh, still got hit by that. So there are iframes in the game, it appears, where, you know, if you time a roll at the right time, you will not get hit, but it is so finicky. And the hit boxes are so janky, and for so many of the wrong reasons and stuff. And then you're really reliant on the weapons. So you can find different grades of weapons dropped from enemies. And, you know, even if you're in a run that's lasted almost an hour, you might still find even the most basic weapons still, sadly. You might not find a good weapon for a long time. You're totally at the mercy of that. And I don't see any way to upgrade that currently with the meta progression that the game does offer. So here's one of the interesting things. We just finished the first zone here. It's quite easy. So we ascend and we go back to the hub area. Now in the hub area, you can spend some currencies. You can talk to Soap to get your potions back. You can choose to invest some more. I'm just going to invest like a couple because I don't really plan for the run to get very far with how much talking I'm doing. And now I can go back and spend like my knowledge and stuff like that. We have 0 knowledge, so I can't unlock anything though. There are spells. I have only unlocked a couple of spells and they have not been useful even in the slightest. So now we need to ascend to the first city, but this is what happens in between every single biome. You come back to the hub area, and if you die, you lose all that currency that you could have spent on the unlocks. So you want to spend it as you get it, which is fine. I think all that is fine. Like, that system is all fine. Again, the issue is the game just doesn't feel fun when you're constantly getting locked up on these tiny platforms. It might be a different story if the game was very open, you know, like if every fighting and combat scenario had these giant platforms and stuff like that. I'm not asking for the game to have that, but when every single space where you're fighting is so small, it just doesn't work like that. And then the hitboxes, you saw that enemy, I was directly behind them, and you can see they have a little indication as to when they're about to attack, but then every single enemy is different. It is just so, like, trying to learn how to parry is just pure insanity. It's just way too difficult to make it work. Now, the actual puzzling, as you can see here with the multiple levels, I think that's actually quite fun and interesting, but it does slow down the pace of the game significantly. I managed to roll through that. Okay, so we have another ring we can throw on here. Pass effect adds 1 point of dexterity. Dexterity is very good. Increases the damage of the sword we're using right now. I'm going to use my spell there. All it does is knock them back, but then I can't act for like a full second or two either. Hitting me for 28. And, you know, if you played Souls games, like, this combat probably just looks pretty par for the course. Like, and you might say, like, well, it's not that bad. You know, it looks like games I've played, but it doesn't feel the same. It most certainly does not. It feels additionally punishing. See, even then, I rolled behind the enemy. I tried to parry there. I don't think it worked. I have to use another potion. The potions do scale with your max health, so that's a bonus. Even if they fix the camera in some of the things where you get stuck, you know, where are the rest of the issues? Well, that is most of the major issues, but they're big. Those are big issues to have in the game. So that's why I definitely cannot recommend it in the game's current state, even in the slightest. It's also that if we get to the first boss here, you'll notice that it's really, like, that's when things really start coming out of the woodwork for problems, I think. I'm trying to think how to do this. In the trailer, they made it seem like, you know, you use the platforms to perform combat. So I can charge a heavy attack here, move in, and try to hit them. But it's just, I don't know, it's not as fulfilling. Yet again, directly behind the enemy, but they managed to hit me, sadly. But yeah, the river system is actually kind of nice. Sometimes It's not that the puzzles are hard, but they're just long. Like I have to go find like a very specific sized platform to continue, and it just feels like kind of like I'm wasting my time a little bit rather than actually solving a puzzle. I'm just kind of like wandering around. So I got stuck on the enemies there. It wouldn't let me roll through. I'm tapping the roll, but nothing was happening, sadly. I actually got a parry off there, but if I actually did it when the enemy indicated, I think I'd be too early, honestly. I don't think it would have worked. Okay. The puzzles can kind of get intricate to a degree. It's kind of satisfying. It's not bad. But is it something I'd want to like keep coming back to? I'm not so sure. Because eventually it just kind of gets monotonous again, like I said. You have a great strength ring. Adds 2 points of strength. Oh, that's a nice ring, huh? The equipment and stuff, all that stuff's pretty good. It comes down to, I just don't know how fun the game is, you know, currently. And it's really disappointing that they released the game in this state. Like I said, there's forgivable problems to be had. You know, this feels kind of like something that almost should have been a beta to a degree. Like, they really should have fleshed out the core problems with the movement and the combat before releasing this to the public. Like, some ideas are pretty fleshed out, but then they skipped over, like, the most important things. So this is a shop we can find. We're broke, though. We can't buy anything. That's Moby. I loved your work on the beach. Let's see. Let's go up here. Callum. So you can trade here. Callum will pull in an object from another world, one that is not available in this one, but will take something from you. Callum took 2 points of dexterity. That's pretty terrible for us. We got a Flayer of Memories, number 4. So this is a different weapon. So we'll try this out. Looks like a greatsword, maybe. It scales mostly with strength. That's fine. Oh, I think we got a level up I forgot to use, too. I'd probably want to do another vitality for now, and then we could consider maybe strength to help scale this big sword that we got now. So look how slow this weapon is. And now here's an issue. Like, the animations sometimes look smooth, and then at other times, you know, like, suddenly, like, you can see, you know, it just kind of becomes jarring, and enemies especially can have this happen. The AI is, you know, not perfect, that's for sure. One of the more smaller issues. So what do I like about the game? I think the river system is cool and interesting. I like it overall. I worry about the longevity of liking it. This weapon is very slow. I think the different spells, from what I can see, even though I only have literally one spell I've been able to cast since playing the game, it looks like it could be pretty good. I like the setup for the progression system's pretty fine. I think I think the art is absolutely amazing. I think the music and the ambiance is actually really cool for the most part. I'm trying to be quick here. See if we can. I'm kind of failing, as you can see. Gosh, it's just so slow. It's gonna be hard to utilize that. Probably shouldn't have healed there yet. So now we're faced with a sort of a puzzle, but the art and the music and the sound design is all quite good, you know? The overall art, but it does kind of feel like they almost cheated in some way, like with the animations, is how I describe it. Like, maybe they just ran it through some... They ran like a 3D character through some, you know, pixel art maker or something, some free pixel art website or something like that, and it just doesn't feel right a lot of times. It doesn't seem to always work. So here I am, I'm trying to find the right piece to actually fit into where we're trying to go. I don't know if this one will work. We need to get... Normally, you'd want to actually go around and pretty much try to kill all these enemies. But we need to get up on a second platform here. So we got to find a way... Okay, we found a staircase. I can already tell, like, this game is procedurally generated. but I've had this pretty much exact same puzzle already. I'm probably gonna die here. So we're probably not gonna make it to the first boss. Okay. There's poison things in the game, so it looks like they have a system set up for quite a bit for long-term uses. Has 2 points of vitality. If we live, that will definitely be amazing, but I think we need to get through here. Okay, there's just so many enemies right here, you know? It kind of becomes monotonous quickly is the other thing. They don't have a massive variety of enemies. This might not look bad, but even in the third area, they only add 1 extra type, really. Oh, this does not look good. 1 hit away. Run away. Okay, let's see if we can somehow utilize this and get through. Oh, is this thing... Oh, we weren't going to get through either way. We need a smaller block to get through there. So now it kind of becomes a little bit of trial and error, it feels. Okay, so we'll take this tiny one. Might be able to at least see the boss, potentially. Oh, nope, never mind. We need to get back down now and find a small block. So we need to get back to the staircase now. So I have this same exact puzzle, essentially. So I need to get to the staircase, find a smaller first level platform now, and see if we can... What's this one look like? Is that small enough, we think? It might be small enough. So suddenly, you know, like, it's a decent puzzle, but again, monotonous. It doesn't feel like I had to use my brain all that much. I just had to find the right piece for the most part. Okay. Barely made that. Okay. Oh. Wow, we lived. Okay, now we probably die. We'll try to live. We're out of potions. Is that where I even want to go? I'm not so sure it is. So let's go back this way. Oh. No swing. Oh! Got stuck on the enemies. Tried to focus so I could show you the boss. The boss is really cool. The boss is really cool looking, but there's so many janky hitboxes. You don't even know what you're supposed to do, which can happen in a boss. Like, you kind of got to solve the mystery of how to kill the boss. But in this game's state, I cannot recommend it. And I'm really disappointed they released it in this way. That's why I was kind of shocked. Like, we saw a great trailer for it, and then there was a demo, which I didn't really love. And then suddenly they're like, oh, hey, 1.0 is out in a couple weeks. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because the demo did not reflect a great product, I gotta say. It really did not. And then I guess that just goes to show this is what happens. I'm not certain what the issue was with the development, but this game is not worth $25. It's not worth $20. I'm not even certain it would be worth $5 for me personally, just because I can't get past the core fundamental issues that it has. It's just not fun. You know what I mean? Great ideas. Maybe they could fix it, but it is kind of telling when a developer releases a game into 1.0 like this, you know, hindsight's 20/20, but you got to have at least a little bit of foresight, you know what I mean? You got to have a touch of foresight to know, like, hey, this ain't ready, you know what I mean? All right, I don't usually like to do, you know, negative reviews of games, but this one was kind of important because I know there was quite a bit of hype behind the game, and people are going to want to know my thoughts. I don't want to hate on the developers or anything. I'm just disappointed is the main issue there, and I hope that they can fix it and return a better product down the line, but nothing has really been promised or said yet, unfortunately. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Pardon me, could I have a meowment of your time, YouTube? It's me, Grandpaw, Haelian's beloved kitty cat wonder. If you love this hysterical content, pitter-patter your way over to twitch.tv/Haelian, where we stream every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 12 PM Eastern. I loaf you. Nya.